Okay, have I got a story time for you? You know when you have those moments in life where you're like, well, that's it, I've hit the height. It's all downhill from here. I kind of had that. So I have done a video before where I talked about how Whigfield is my favorite singer in the world. She's the woman who sang Saturday Night in the mid-90s. Saturday night dancing like the way you move. And I thought it was a dream come true that I got to do a Skype interview with her to launch her new song and music video.
How are you?
Hi Josh, I'm good. How are you?
I am great. This is such a treat to speak with you because I've been a fan for over 20 years, which is kind of crazy.
Thank you.
And that was amazing, but it got much, much more amazing after that. So after that Skype interview, and then I did a video on here about it, the manager emails back and says, let's do a Skype video. She announced that she was going on a Back to the 90s tour with Aqua, who sang Barbie Girl. And so they were coming to a city near Vancouver called Abbotsford, and so I was super excited. I got a ticket. I was gonna go and see Whigfield, and I thought, okay, I need to reach out to her manager again, who's also her boyfriend, and just say, like, look, can I possibly do a video with her in person, just something really quick before or after the concert for my YouTube channel? And he wrote back and said, why don't you actually come with us for dinner the night before? Can you imagine? Like, here I was thinking, like, oh my gosh, maybe possibly I can get to talk to her for a minute for my YouTube channel. And instead he's like, why don't you come have dinner with us? So of course I said yes. And then I just thought, okay, don't get like too excited about it. Don't like go overboard because maybe it won't happen for one reason or another. Maybe it's like some big group media thing and she'll be like on the other end of the table, but whatever. I'm just like, I am probably going to actually get to meet this person in real life who I've been a fan of for over 20 years. And like a huge fan, like always my favorite. Whenever someone says, who's your favorite singer? I'm like, Whigfield. So let's do my favorite song. Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Whigfield.
Saturday Night. Oh yeah.
Something by Whigfield, I didn't know about it.
Yeah. Whigfield, Saturday Night. It's kind of random, I know. So, the day comes, nothing's been canceled, I'm still going. So I'm heading out to Abbotsford and like it's an hour drive from here, and the whole time I'm just like, oh my gosh, I'm going to actually meet Whigfield. And so I go, they give me the hotel that she's at, and I wait in the lobby, and then there she appears with her boyfriend slash manager and gives me a hug and just starts chatting with me, talking about how she's like losing her voice at the start of a concert and blah blah blah. And it's just like we're old friends, just catching up and talking to each other like it's no big deal. And half of me is just like, yeah, just feeling like a friendship and just chatting with her, and the other half of me is like, oh my god, I'm talking to Whigfield. Like, it was hard for my brain to understand what was going on. But then we decided to go for dinner at the restaurant right near the hotel. And so we go in there, and who's having dinner in there already? Aqua. So I'm like, you know, I was a big fan of Aqua in the 90s too. I mean, they weren't my favorite, that's Whigfield, but I was a big fan of them, listened to their music all the time. So I'm just like, wow, like I got to meet them too. I'm just like, is this real life? Is this really happening? So anyway, Whigfield and her boyfriend don't want to sit with them. We go to sit in our own private table to just have dinner, just the three of us. Just hang out for an hour and just chat. Like we're just old friends, just learning more about each other. It was surreal. And then after the dinner, we did our little sit-down interview, so I'll just play you a minute of that.
It's kind of warm in here, so first I'll take off my outer layer.
Okay.
Yeah, you too. Shirt on underneath.
Oh my god. Oh my god. I can't believe that.
Ta-da! I even have it tucked in like I did in the 90s.
Oh my god.
So, here I am with...
Wiki.
Yeah. Whigfield, also known as Sannie, who is my favorite singer in the whole world.
Why not?
Yeah, welcome to Canada.
Thank you so much. It's amazing. People generally in Canada are very friendly.
But I guess I should say, in case anybody doesn't know, like I'm a Whigfield super fan, and Whigfield sang Saturday Night was like, yeah, it was like the huge hit, and then you had other hits after that too.
A friend of mine, I think he's got all the Whigfield singles ever released.
Yeah.
He bought them around the world.
That is exactly what I did. Like, anywhere I went, I had to look for a Whigfield single, and it was like my collection, and then I'd put them up on the wall as my decoration.
Okay.
Whigfield singles, so I'd have to compare my collection to
Crazy.
his. Yeah, right. Like, are you afraid? Well, I don't want to keep you talking because you have to sing tomorrow, but thank you for like creating the highlight of my life tonight by having dinner with me and then talking
Thank you for coming.
So that was like amazing, but I was more excited about just hanging out with her than even making the video. I was sort of, at one point, like her boyfriend said, so you're gonna make a video? And I was like, oh yeah, right. But I was just like, I'm hanging out, having a real one-on-one, one-on-two experience here with the real Whigfield. And then on our way out, she stops to talk to Lene, the lead singer of Aqua, for a bit. And so then I just say, can I get a picture with you? And then she kisses me for the photo! Like, can you just fathom what I was going through? And so then, you know, we're leaving, and then Whigfield says, and her real name is Sannie, says to me, you have like a backstage pass tomorrow, right? And I'm like, no. And she's like, well, you're coming to see the show? I'm like, yeah, I bought a ticket. She's like, why'd you buy a ticket? And I'm thinking, well, because nobody offered me one. Like, that seemed to be the only option. And she's like, oh, we'll get you backstage. And so she talks to her boyfriend, and he's like, yeah, for sure. Like, here's my number. Text me when you get there. I'll make sure they've got a pass for you, and you'll come backstage. So the whole ride home, I'm just like freaking out for an hour. Just like, I call my best friend Mary, and I'm just like, oh my God! So then the next day comes, I drive back to Abbotsford, get to the venue. I can't find him and Whigfield's boyfriend, and he's not like answering his phone. So then I just go to security, and I'm like, hey, I'm friends with Whigfield. Thinking like, there's no way they're gonna believe me. And they had my name on a list and just like escorted me backstage. And so they take me to the green room, and there Whigfield is sitting with some people. And she sees me, comes over, gives me a hug, tells me she's so glad that I'm there. And then we just sit and we're chatting and talking. And then her boyfriend shows up. And then they're trying to decide, I think they were doing 5 songs. They're trying to decide like the 5th song. So she says to me like, which song do you think I should do? And it was between Big Time and some other song I can't remember. And I was like, oh, I think Big Time was a bigger hit. I mean, you watching this, you've probably never even heard of Big Time. Maybe if you heard it, you'd recognize it.
Big time. Come on, we're gonna get big time.
But anyway, I said, I think you should do Big Time. So they do Big Time. So now I'm like, I just helped pick the song in Whigfield's set, and I'm hanging out with Whigfield. And then she says, come to my dressing room. Like, I have to get ready. So come hang out with me in my dressing room. Again, just me, her, and her boyfriend. So she puts on her suit, which is amazing. I mean, this girl is rocking it. Like, her body, she's doing good for like mid to late 40s. And we're chatting, and like she's sharing personal stuff with me. And again, just like we're just hanging out like friends. And then we're hanging out with the Aqua and like going out to the back area for some people to smoke, and just, you know, I wanted to take a photo of me with like all of Aqua, but I didn't want to, like, it's such a fine line between like fangirling and just trying to be like a normal regular person, even though I am wearing my Whigfield shirt, of course. But I got another picture with Lene, so that was good. And then it's time for Whigfield to go on, so I'm hanging out with her backstage, sort of to the side of the stage, but it's backstage. And again, like, it's just me and her manager. And then it's time for her to perform. And I'm sure, like, everybody else that was backstage was either, like, with one of the other groups or, like, a tech person. And then there's me in my Whigfield shirt, singing every word, dancing to every song. I could just see them sort of being like, who is this person and how did he get back here? And then she's like, you know, she's performing. The audience is loving it. Like, at one point, she looks over at me. She sings to me. Like, this is beyond my wildest dreams, right? Like, talk to me 20 years ago, 15 years ago, 10 years ago, anytime before this, and I would have been like, I actually get to meet Whigfield one day? Not hang out with her, be backstage. So then she does her whole show, and then she comes down, and then we're just hanging out, and then we decide to watch Aqua together from backstage. And then we're just, you know, chatting more. And then it's over and she's leaving. And so she gives me a hug and blows me a kiss. And then the next day texted me just to send her some of the photos that I took so she can post one on her social media. And I'm just like, we're friends. Well, at least until she sees this video. Now, just the next goal in life has to be to figure out how to get her to sing at my wedding. Except that I don't want to die on my wedding day, because I think I literally would. So I just wanted to share that with you. I didn't know, like, should I just post the interview? And then I was like, well, a lot of the interview wasn't that great because I was, like, just so excited and nervous and just wanting to chat with her. But I needed to share, like, the next day as well. And, you know, as you saw, I took some random clips and stuff. I was like, what am I going to do with this? I thought I'll just put it together into one story time so I can just share with you a bit of my excitement and amazement at just life. I guess the highlight of my year is getting engaged, but this is a close second. Alright, thanks for watching, and I'm back next week with more videos from my travels with Heath. Bye.